Hello there and welcome to this video. My name is Rajat, and on behalf of Startup Frat, I welcome you not only to the video, but if you've joined our Startup Frat Hangout group anytime in the last 7 to 10 days, a very warm welcome to you. We just crossed 100 members and we are going to speed this stuff up. But before I go ahead, especially for some of the folks who might be new here, I just wanted to quickly go over the what, when, and why of why we are here together, you and me. So the reason we are here together is the core focus of the Startup Frat Hangout is two core focuses. One is freedom and the other is abundance, right? Freedom from constraints, freedom from pressure, freedom from mental stress, freedom from society's bullshit, freedom from anything that might be holding you back from where you want to be, where you need to be in life on a personal or professional level. And the second thing is abundance, that is abundance of whether you want wealth or time or to be a better person, abundance in terms of mental peace, in terms of just being instead of needing to do all the time. So just a place of peacefulness and abundance and freedom from constraints. So that is pretty much the theme of this group. Now, the why, when, and who, and how of why we are here. I'll just quickly go through these points and then I have a very important announcement to make for you. Why are we here? So this is relevant for three types of people. If you are a corporate professional, if you are an independent professional like a doctor, lawyer, CA or something, or if you are somebody who has been wanting to look at setting up their own brand or own enterprise, whether it has a commercial interest or a non-commercial interest, you want to set it up just to leave a legacy, or you want to set it up in order to make money, or if you're a corporate professional who wants something more out of life, or you are an independent professional who's just sick and tired of jostling around in a sea of other professionals, then this is for you. The information being shared in this group is for you. The other reason why we are doing it right now, and like I said, I just started this Hangout group about 10 odd days back, and we've crossed 100 members. So congratulations to you for taking the right decision. But the reason we are doing it at this particular point in time is the timing. The timing from an economic perspective is very, very critical right now, because we've been seeing a bunch of different slowdowns, etc. happening, and the whole thing has come to a head because of the tipping point of the whole coronavirus situation. Before I go ahead, if you have anyone that you know, a friend or family member who has suffered from this scourge, my heart goes out to you, and I take full cognizance of the pain that they might have felt or you might have felt. Having said that, anytime there is a deterioration of the fundamental economics of society, and then there is a landscape event or a black swan event like the coronavirus is, it always leads to a bunch of upheaval, and usually there are a lot of people that are impacted. Usually that upheaval is followed by a period of upswing, and it's only the fittest and the most flexible and the people who are most ready that are able to scale the peaks in that upswing that happens. Timing is everything in life and in business. I'll just give you a quick example. Steve Jobs was fired from his company in the 1980s because he had a dream of making a near perfect computer, which would be a work of art, and it would take like $3,000 to make that computer. And he wanted to sell that computer for $2,000. The average median income, monthly income of a family in those days in the US was like $2,000 or $2,500. So it was not economically viable, and he was fired from the company because he was hell-bent on, driving the company into the gutter in order to fulfill his dream. It was his own company, but the board of directors, etc., they decided to fire him. 20 years later, when the markets had changed, things were different, etc., they brought him back, they made him the CEO, and he still had the same dream, which is, I want to make a near perfect computer. It's going to cost $2,000, and it's going to be near perfect. So thanks to Chinese manufacturing and manufacturing in Thailand, etc., and thanks to the American median income level rising to beyond $3,500-4,000, that computer suddenly became a reality, and the rest is history. That's what made Apple what it is today. So just a difference in timing, the same exact dream, the same exact company, the same exact audience, difference in timing. I'll just give you a personal experience as well. In 2008, when the housing crash happened in the US, I was working with a startup in Silicon Valley. I was on a B1, B2 visa, so I was technically in India, but I was working in a Silicon Valley company. And when the whole show was coming to a halt and people were jumping out of windows and things like that, and the stock market was nothing, real estate had crashed, everything. Right after the 2008 crash, I was incidentally working as a sales and marketing consultant in a market research company. Right after that crash, a lot of companies suddenly realized that they needed to find newer markets. They needed to find where their competitors had left the market, or the competing companies had been destroyed, and they wanted to go and take charge of that market and those customers. And suddenly they needed that advice from people like market research companies who had all the information of who's going out of business, what are their customers doing, where can you find this kind of business, etc. And long story short, we doubled our revenue from 2008 to 2009. We doubled that revenue again from 2009 to 2010, and we doubled that revenue again from 2010 to 2011. So that taught me a very important lesson in life, that timing in life and in business could be everything. So you will still do the hard work, you will still do the smart work, you'll still have the bright ideas, but if you apply them at the wrong time, they could get you fired. If you apply them at the right time, you could be the number one company in the world, or the number one inventor in the world, like Steve Jobs was. So that is where we are coming from. So we are at an interesting point in time, and my goal is to provide you with the information and the tools necessary in order to make this downswing and upswing of the market work for you rather than against you. So that is the why and the when. And then where. See, in India, the issue has always been that we are always willing to work very hard, and we usually work very hard. Most of Indian people, they work 6 days a week when the whole world works 5 days a week, and we are always willing to learn more and things. But usually the information of what is going to happen, etc., is always coming to us late, because we are the back office for the rest of the world, right? So the information and the tools in order to get this information ahead of time and act on it is usually always coming to us late. And this time what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to share some information which could be useful for you. Now, usually when people talk like this, they usually have something to promote, they have an idea to promote, they have a product to promote, or they have something to promote. I have nothing to promote. In fact, I will give you very soon, later this week, 100 different ideas on how you can make this stuff happen for yourself. If you're in the Hangout, I just released a video yesterday where I at least brought 50% or more clarity in your mind in what you can do, regardless of whether you're a business owner, you're a professional, you're a corporate professional, you're an individual, what you can do in order to get synced with the new market, get synced with what's going to happen next, right? So I provided a lot of clarity in that video. If you're not in the Hangout group, you need to request access, and then you can watch that video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the 5 or 6 areas where this action is going to happen. And then in a few days, maybe tomorrow or day after, I'm going to have a private webinar for the Hangout group members where I'll give you 100 different ideas on how you can make this market work for yourself. So what are the basic blocks? I think we've discussed this in an earlier video. There are some industries which are going to go down. There are some industries which are going to go up. We don't know what's going to happen to manufacturing. Some people say, well, all that manufacturing is going to move from China to India. We hope so, but we don't know. But there are some industries which are guaranteed. I can give you 100% guarantee they're going to grow. And that comes from the way human feeling and human situation has changed during this slowdown. A lot of people are thinking differently. They're feeling differently. They're realizing there's a lot of waste in our life that we don't need. A lot of people are getting back to the basics. Right. I also released a separate post about not wasting money, etc. earlier today, and you can just check that post out. But the basic premise of that post is do not be wasteful in things that won't keep you grounded, and they're not going to add any value to you, and they're not going to add any value to your wealth. And the second premise on that is that conserve your resources, because when you need to ascend the market curve, you will need firepower. If you don't have that firepower, and if your firepower is tied up in car EMIs and real estate and stock market where the stocks are just going down and not going up and all of that, then basically you're losing your firepower in the wrong thing. Even if the whole thing comes up 2 years or 3 years from now, you would have lost opportunity where you could have made huge significant changes in your positioning, in your finances, just in your personal development and personal branding. Okay, so what are those 5 or 6 areas? The first area is business growth and development. As always, business growth and development. If you are a person who is like I'm a person who's into consulting companies on how to grow their business, how to maximize their profits, if you are a person who works in this kind of an area, then this is a great area to be in, and this is the area that's definitely going to grow after the slowdown is over, because I've seen that happen firsthand. I've been in it, so this is one thing I'm very sure of. The other area is healthcare. Now, I belong to the medical community. I have a medical degree, and most of the top 100 friends I have are medical doctors. And usually when I say that, they say, oh, that means I'm in the right industry. I'm a medical doctor. Healthcare means something over and above the sickness care industry, which is healthcare is more of a self-help industry. So things like, yoga, pranayam, how to get your immunity up, because the medical industry, is probably not going to be able to help you if you have coronavirus or something, right? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if you have your immunity up, that is a much bigger asset to have than to know a good doctor. So the healthcare, which is more of from a self-help standpoint, how to be healthier, how to have better immunity, how to have lower fat, how to avoid blood sugar and things like that, is going to be big, because during this time there's a lot of self-introspection that has happened in the mind of the individual person, and they realize they really love their family, they would like to live longer and be around them more, and their focus is going to shift from a lot of their professional pursuits onto their own personal health. Which brings me to the next point. The next point is personal development. So if you are in any way, shape or form connected to, or if you can hitch your wagon to, it doesn't matter whether your current business is related to any of these areas or not, but if you can hitch your wagon to personal development, then things like minimalism and meditation, and how to appreciate things better, and mindfulness, and how to be a better parent, and how to be a better human being, etc., is going to be hugely important over here. I gave you 3 modules in that video yesterday that's there in that group on how you can create products and services literally from nothing that can supply this information to the market in various forms, and you can benefit from that. If you haven't watched that video, again, you need to go and watch that video. Personal development. What's the next one? Let me just check my notes. Okay. Career and finances. At an individual level, this is for businesses, this is for individuals. At an individual level, what can I do if my career is not going well, if my company just which is a foreign MNC, just lost a lot of revenue because of this whole situation, and now my job is in danger, or whatever it is. If you're a corporate professional, then career and finance is going to be very important for you. If you're a person who can help other corporate professionals who may be feeling this heat, then this is a great opportunity for you to help other people and also benefit yourself, probably build a business or a brand around it. Okay, then we have this whole make money niche, which is where people, there's a huge market for business opportunities and things like multi-level marketing, and then insurance, and then you have financial advisory and things like that. So people who want to set up things in, set up businesses, or their individual consultancy in advising people about insurance, about how to grow their money, about how to make their money, financial advisors, even people who are into business opportunities and multi-level marketing and things. This is going to be huge going forward, at least for the next 5 years. And the last one is entertainment. Now, this is not about big ticket entertainment. This is not about setting up your own cinema hall or your own restaurant things. That industry is probably going to suffer a little bit. But this is about small ticket entertainment. If you're into gaming, right? And if you're great at gaming, and if you can create some products around to help other people on how to become like a hot shot in PUBG or something, right? This is going to be big because a lot of entertainment has shifted from big ticket entertainment and things like cinema halls and bars and clubs over to entertainment in the house, which is, playing network games or doing TikTok stuff or whatever it is. So if you're in this industry, or if you have some ideas on how you can create some products or services or content in this industry to help other people enjoy more from their smartphones, then this industry is going to be big for you. Okay. Now, again, like I said, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on how you craft products and services, etc. I've got that previously covered in the last video, and I'm going to be creating more content for you in future also. But right now I have an announcement to make. I'm going to be sending a private invite to people who are in the Hangout group for maybe tomorrow or day after for a webinar. This webinar is going to be only for members of the Hangout group. It will not be published anywhere. There will be no recordings and no replays, so you have to be there. It'll probably be on Saturday night. And yes, if you're going to watch a movie that day, or if you're going to watch some Mahabharat or something on that day on Saturday night, you'll just either have to miss it or attend it. And in there, I'm going to be giving you 100 ideas, no less than 100 ideas on how you can reposition yourself in the new market and gain from it rather than lose from it. Also, think creatively, think open-minded. There's a friend of mine who owns a liquor store, and he's like, come on, Rajat, man. I cannot help people do personal development. I cannot help them do healthcare. I cannot, I'm in the liquor business, right? Think a little creatively. Hitch your wagon to any one of these big niches, and I'll give you a lot more ideas tomorrow. And there are hundreds of ways to skin a cat. Okay, so think creatively, think abundance, and don't stress over it. If you are in any such situation where you think that you cannot, there is no way out for you, don't worry about it. I'll show you a way out in that webinar. So watch out for my invite. If you're not in the Hangout group, you need to request access to the Hangout group. If you're in the Hangout group, keep watching for that invite and join us live on Saturday night. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.